Ever heard of a genius? We've got the 2.5 until Dr. Banner, blending Hulk's power and Banner's wit amazing. But the captain's request wasn't really in Banner's wheelhouse. After the trio badgered him enough, he finally decided to give it a shot. They planned to send Scott back a week, then return him, but the experiment failed. After Scott passed through the quantum tunnel, they brought back old Little and Baby Scott like a family reunion, until the power rebooted. Scott has finally returned to his normal state. Meanwhile, even though Tony declined everyone's requests, the guilt trip hit him hard when he saw his photo with Spider-Boy. So, he decided to channel Scott's. He built a time machine and, shockingly, it worked. After battling his own mental demons, Tony zoomed in on his Audi 28 to the quantum bay. He brought the latest time travel gadget, gearing up for one last adventure this time. He was really betting his life on it. And he also brought Cap Shield, finally squashing their feud. Now, their mission was to rally the rest of the Avengers. Rocket and Banner went to Asgard to seek Thor, who became a recluse after a mishap 5 years ago. Once proud of family, now he's fishing at door. Stormbreaker. A beer opener, just no beer. Banner spills his guts, but the dejected Thor shot him down cold. Until Rocket mentioned, hey, we've got beer on our ship. If you ask who lost the most after Thanos' snap, some would say Scott trapped in the quantum realm for 5 years, emerging to find only his daughter remained. But another hero, Hawkeye, lost even more. His family faced that 50s too. So, he became a wandering swordman, living it up in the world as a good guy until Black Widow showed up, saying there's a chance to bring everyone back. Hope rekindled, Hawkeye followed Black Widow to Avengers base. Rhodey then said, since we can time travel, why not take a vacation to when Thanos was still a small fry? But Banner's reply left him speechless. Then Banner opened up the quantum tunnel and began the experiment. They sent Hawkeye back to before Thanos' snap. Hearing his daughter's voice, he was about to greet her when zapped back to reality. Luckily, the experiment succeeded greatly. With limited pim particles, they split into 3 groups to go to the future. They'd hop back to different moments in time to snag the 6 Infinity Stones and snap everyone back. Each team landed in New York 2012, just as the Avengers were fighting off the Chitauri. Just when each team was scheming their tactics, Hulk from the past burst onto the scene. This Hulk may not be a genius, but he sure packs a punch. Banner laughed at his younger self as if watching a comedy. Who'd have thought his future self would be so lame, proving him prescient. So Tony and the mini Ant-Man snuck back to Stark Tower. Meanwhile, the Avengers had apprehended Loki, and those poor Hydra agents were taking their. Tony had Ant-Man lift up his butt and then launched him over to pass Tony. Meanwhile, he was reenacting that classic electric shock scene with style. Then, Tony went downstairs as a security guard, directing Scott to destroy his reactor. Suddenly, it malfunctioned, and past Tony collapsed. Chaos erupted, the two synced to snatch the space stone. As they fled, past Hulk knocked them down. The fallen stone slid right to Loki's feet, and without batting an eye, he picked it up and bolted off to start shooting his new series. Meanwhile, as the team stepped into the elevator, they were met with a scene so familiar. Could it be that they were transforming into elevator heroes again? But this time, they didn't have to go all out, just one line and they snagged the Mind Stone like pros. But if it were so easy, where would the blockbuster box office come from? So, they didn't walk far before running into their past selves. The past versions mistook the new guys for Loki impersonator, and without a second thought, they started. But here's the question, who do you think would win this little showdown? They fought downstairs, the future duo, being craftier, subdued their past selves with the Mind Stone and admired themselves. Just then, Loki made off with the Space Stone, and with the remaining pin particles only good for a one-way trip. Just as they were in a bind, Tony had a lightbulb moment. He figured out a plan that would not only score the stone, but also replenish the pin particles. So, he sent Scott back with the staff while he and the team used the last of the particles to hop back to 19. After they disguised themselves and infiltrated the base, Tony quickly located the Space Stone with Friday's help. But just as he was about to leave, he bumped into an Onyx. It happened to be his father, Howard Stark. This awkward reunion left Big Shot Tony completely flustered. He was so nervous he could only manage a finger handshake, almost forgetting to grab the stone-laden case. So their time-bending chat brought Tony a wave of paternal love, mending years of regret. Meanwhile, the team tricked young Hank Pym into giving them some Pym particles over the phone. Classic. But fate had other plans, as he accidentally wandered into Peggy Carter's office. Peeking through the blinds at his long-lost love struck a sentimental chord, making him yearn for retirement right there. But he knew saving the lost was priority number 1. Meanwhile, Banner ran into the Supreme Sorcerer, the Ancient One, only for her to say, "You've been here for 5 years." Banner was too tired for explanations. He lunged for the Time Stone, only for the Ancient One to smack him so hard his spirit nearly popped out. In his ghostly state, Banner begged for clemency. The Ancient One explained that the flow of time is crafted by the Infinity Stones. She handed over the stones. It could cause chaos in time, maybe even get devoured by dark forces. But Banner argued he would return the stone to the exact moment it was taken. Problem solved, right? Even then, the Ancient One had her reservations until Banner mentioned how Doctor Strange willingly handed the stone to Thanos in the future. The Ancient One suddenly got it, believing Strange must have had a good reason for doing that. She then returned Banner's spirit to his body and handed over the Time Stone. Make sure to subscribe as well.